New York bans weapons in many public locations after Supreme Court ruling. New York Kingdom passed a law on Friday banning guns from many public locations, together with Times Square, and requiring gun license candidates to show their shooting proficiency and put up their social media accounts for overview by authorities' officers. The law, handed in an emergency legislative session, was forced by using a landmark U.S. Supreme Court ruling last week that struck down New York's restrictive gun license laws. The court's conservative majority ruled for the primary time that the U.S. Constitution grants an individual the right to hold guns in public for self-defense. New York's Democratic leaders have decried the ruling and the court docket, announcing there may be extra gun violence if there are extra humans wearing weapons. They conceded they have to loosen the kingdom's century-old allow scheme to conform with the ruling, however sought to preserve as many regulations as they might in the call of public safety. Some will probably be goals for in addition prison challenges. The court dominated that New York's former license regime, which dates from 1911, gave too much discretion to officials to disclaim a permit. New York Governor Kathy Hochul, a Democrat who ordered the awesome consultation within the legislature, mentioned the kingdom's gun licensing guidelines had resulted in New York having the fifth lowest price of gun deaths of the 50 U.S. states. Our kingdom will preserve to keep New Yorkers safe from harm, even no matter this setback from the Supreme Court, she told an information conference within the country capital, Albany, whilst lawmakers were debating the bill. They might imagine they can change our lives with the stroke of a pen, but we've got pens, too. The courtroom's ruling allowed that humans might be banned from wearing weapons in certain, sensitive places, however warned lawmakers in opposition to applying the label too broadly. The court also made it less difficult for pro-gun groups to have a regulation overturned. It ruled that a weapons law was probably unconstitutional if it was not similar to the type of guidelines around within the 18th century, whilst the U.S. Constitution's Second Amendment turned into ratified, letting states maintain militias and defining a proper to hold and undergo arms. The law exceeded on Friday makes it a criminal crime to hold a gun into a new list of touchy locations, such as government homes, clinical centers, places of worship, libraries, playgrounds, parks, zoos, colleges, schools, summertime camps, addiction support facilities, homeless shelters, nursing houses, public transit inclusive of the New York City subway, locations wherein alcohol or marijuana is consumed, museums, theaters, stadiums and other venues, polling places and Times Square. Law enforcement officers and registered protection guards are among those exempt from the sensitive place restrictions. Republican lawmakers voted against the law, set to take impact on September 1, complaining that it makes the proper to carry guns lesser than other constitutional rights, such as freedom of speech and of religion. Now, it will be less complicated to get a concealed carry license, mentioned Mike Lawler, a Republican member of the Assembly, for the duration of the controversy. But you're not going with a view to carry it everywhere. Flagrant violation. The National Rifle Association, the effective gun owners' rights group whose neighborhood affiliate was the lead plaintiff within the Supreme Court case, known as New York's law, flagrant violation of the ruling through creating more barriers to New Yorkers' self-defense rights, indicating it can soon face legal challenges. Governor Hochul and her anti-Second Amendment allies in Albany have defied the United States Supreme Court with an deliberately malicious rewriting of New York's concealed bring regulation, Darren Hohens, the New York NRA country director, mentioned in an assertion. The court docket dominated in New York State Rifle and Pistol Association versus Brune that New York licensing officers had too much subjective discretion over who may want to enjoy what it mentioned changed into a constitutional right.